Yeah, I used to know someone who'd eat chili with a fork. Can you believe that? When you say you're a chili person, are you more of a soup and stew kind of guy? But of course you would never choose a wizard. They have way too many spell slots, and their subclasses are too simplistic, boring. That's no fun, right? I mean, the whole idea of a subclass is binding it to a different school of magic each time, and...
This is nice.
Hey, we need extra player. You down?
Yeah, sure. We'd love to.
Actually, I think we're good.
Hey, where have you been today?
Get off me.
What's wrong with you?
Bro, you dumb. I don't know you.
Come on. You're my best friend.
Don't know you.
You do. You do know me. And I was like, oh my god,
Jacob, where were you? 1 second.
Chloe, where are you?
until tomorrow.
I changed my flight. Why are you wet?
I just decided to go for a swim. I'm gonna go and make us some dinner.
Okay. We managed to close the deal, but I think we're gonna have to go back in a couple of weeks. We had like one night to go around and see the city, and it was really beautiful. I could really see myself living there one day. Did you hear that?
What?
I said I could really see us living there one day.
Oh, so nice.
Do you wanna watch a movie?
Yeah, sure.
What's happening?
Don't worry about it. You dropped this.
Every morning at 6:30, the photographer awakes from her slumber. Though her origins and very existence is an enigmatic mystery, legend has it that by offering a sacrifice of candies, she descends with her omnipotent camera. Today's request came from a wealthy widow who recounted the tragic loss of her husband in an unfortunate car accident. Desperate for his return, she offered a dozen candies crafted from condensed stardust as payment. Reluctant, the photographer hesitated before succumbing to the temptation of 3 dozen candies. With her time-dilating lens, the photographer manipulated the wheel of time, transporting the widow's consciousness to the past. Despite her efforts, the photographer knew the outcome was predetermined. Though capable of many feats, the photographer was no god. Time could be rewinded, yet the threads of destiny cannot be cut. Like rivers converging into the boundless sea, the husband's demise was inevitable. Following day, a new request reached the photographer. It came from a war veteran, his sight diminished by the world's ugliness. He yearned for one final glimpse of its beauty before his demise. As payment, he offered a candy crafted from the essence of moon pearl in exchange. In the span of an afternoon, the photographer compiled the world's wonders into a magical lollipop that she reluctantly handed to the veteran. From stray cats to snow-coated mountains, the old man glimpsed everywhere and everything. The photographer's next request didn't have promises of stardust or moon pearls, yet its sincerity deeply touched her. It came from a terminally ill girl who implored for her best friend, Emily, to be brought to life. The photographer alternated the dimensions of reality using a multifaceted filter, manifesting the girl's imagination into tangible existence. Unexpectedly, the girl invited the photographer for a playdate. The concept of friendship was always elusive to the photographer, as people only viewed her as a magical genie to fulfill their desires, never viewing her as a living person. However, for the first time, she experienced genuine happiness, a feeling sweeter than all the candies she has eaten combined. Unfortunately, happiness is often short-lived, as sunny days are followed by raging storms. The photographer's usual smile, a crescent like the moon, faltered under gravity. Understanding companionship meant that loneliness was also that much more prominent. The photographer's precious camera suddenly felt heavier than ever, as every photo was a tombstone, a witness of a life, a story. Her candies were no longer sweet, but tasteless, even bitter. Under the moonlight, the photographer faded into the stars.
Once upon a time, there was a girl who fell in love with stories, and she never looked back. That's how my fairy tale would go, I think. Stories have always been a big part of my life. Apparently my dad read Robinson Crusoe to me before I was born. Maybe that's why I've always felt like I'm trying to survive in a strange land. And every night before bed, my parents would read me 3 books. I most clearly remember my dad thinking Animal Farm was an appropriate bedtime story for an 8-year-old.
horse slaughterer.
What?
Though my mom also showed me Outsiders far too young, so maybe it runs in the family. But I like to think it's all made me wise beyond my years. I used to think real life was very dull. My world felt too small, but through books, through movies, through fantasy mainly, it became infinitely large. And they made me feel less powerless. In fantasy stories, everyone is special and everyone matters.
My friends, you bow to no one.
But as the real world became a lot bigger and a lot more scary, I discovered the appeal of horror. I'm intimately familiar with the signs of fear. Heart racing, palms sweating, shortness of breath, and I think that's mostly where my love of horror comes from. It's a lot more fun experiencing fear through a book or a screen. So I've learned to appreciate life more. It's not quite as dull as I used to think, but there'll always be a part of me wanting to run away with the fairies.
Myriah!
Sadly, at some point, life kind of got in the way. My world shrunk again, and it felt like the walls were closing in. Until one day, I stepped out of my normal life, and everything changed. I think deciding to take part in technical theater was one of the best decisions of my life. Suddenly, I was able to be part of the stories I had loved so much, and nothing feels better than creating something. But most importantly, it led me to film, and my world opened again. This is me. I fell in love with stories and never once looked back.
Have you taken your pills today?
Yes. Are you feeling differently today?
No.
Have you taken your pills today?
Yes.
Are you feeling differently today?
No.
Have you taken your pills today?
Yes.
Are you feeling differently today?
No.
Have you taken your pills
Yes.
today? Hey!
Are you ready? Yes.
Yeah, are you okay?
Why did you leave me?